Hello everyone, it's Melissa. I'm back and I have another layout. This one is a 12 by 12 size and starting off by pulling from my product jar. And in fact, I do end up getting in some way, shape, or form all of my pulls used on this page. So I'm pretty excited about that. So this is a page to document my husband and I, we just had an anniversary last weekend. And yeah, actually in my journaling, I do say that amid the COVID crazy, that we still had a really nice day. So celebrating 19 years. So yay. One of the things that I wanted to convey on this page is per usual, we're usually in our yard taking pictures like every other year. And so I don't know, for whatever reason, I wanted this page to be very romantic feeling. And I was getting that vibe because when I was pulling my frames, I found these 3 frames that were super feminine, had tons of florals on them, lots of pinks and stuff. And I thought, you know what, these are exactly what I need, and I'm going to use them on my page. And I'm so happy that they are out of my stash, to be honest, because I just kept flipping past them and I was just like, you know what, all 3 are going on. So what I skipped over there was that I used my scissors to fussy cut the word hello out of that tag, which I don't know where it's from, but it's old. It's been in my stash. And then I used some frayed burlap Tim Holtz oxide ink and just inked the edges to kind of give that word hello a little bit more definition and more pronounced on my page. I also cut some wood grain paper from my stash, some white wood grain paper. I've showed quickly some Heidi Swapp gold color shine mist I put on my background. I also showed a dotted embossing folder. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I dotted a Swiss dots embossing folder. I actually ran the hello through the embossing folder to give that word some texture. Also, I showed that I added some of that pattern paper to the top of the page, and I also added a scrap piece of brown paper bag, little brown paper bag that I had sitting in my stash. I die cut a tag, a burgundy tag, which you'll see me tuck in there in a little bit, and I just used my Studio Calico tag dies. Now this is some polka dotted, gold polka dotted vellum that I cut, and it's old from Stampin' Up, and I'm just going to tuck it underneath there. I'm also going to add some gold striped washi in places eventually. You'll see me add it up here after I tear a little area of this paper out. I'm going to add some of the washi there, and then later on, I don't think I show it on screen, but I do end up adding another long strip by that polka dotted vellum. The other thing you see there in the picture is a doily that I cut in half. Also from Paper Smooches, it's a die that is the rose die. I cut the small and the large, and I cut 2 small and 1 large for each cluster that's going to go on that page. And I backed it up on some mulberry paper, which is old product from Stampin' Up. It's like a vellum, only not. It's like handmade paper. You see me there making a hole reinforcer for my tag, just using that vellum paper. Just used a hole punch and cut it out. So back to the roses. So I used some mulberry paper. I just, glued the rose on there and fussy cut it out. Also from my stash, I used a leaf die from a Stampin' Up! Eclectic Layers Thinlit, and I cut that in an old olive from Stampin' Up! And now I have the word happy there. Now, I don't know if you saw in the beginning or if you've been following any of my videos this year, but one of my goals was to use alpha stickers or thickers on each project if possible. In fact, I used the 19, which is a sticker font from my stash, and that word happy, which is a wood grain from K & Company alpha. I don't know how old it is, super old. So I'm happy about that. Also, I have from Jelly Bean Soup a sweet little file tab there. And I think this little piece of ephemera is from Chic Tags. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think they really sell too much anymore, but if they do, you can find them on Etsy. But that's what I'm going to use to hold the 19. I'm going to back that up on vellum just to have the foiled gold be a little bit more pronounced against the woods in the background. Let's see. I also put some crochet twine through the tag on the top and just made a bow. I kind of toyed with staples, but I don't know, decided against it. So I'm just going to glue that on vellum. And let's see, the frames, per usual on my chipboard, I removed a couple of the layers of the cardboard from the back, just so it's not so bulky in my album. I'm going to cut away this vellum, and eventually I will use some gold staples and adhere it after I get some glue down onto the photo itself. Now, the mixed media, you guys know I use it very loosely, my interpretation. So that would have been the gold mist. I do get brads on here, ephemera, tabs, Project Life card gets used. That's in fact what I use for my journaling. And the stitching and the sewing, well, I got some crochet twine on that tag, as well as I will ball up later some gold thread and put it behind a piece of flare. You can see there to the left, there's an Amy Tangerine, like the clips. I'm actually going to use that as flare. That's just how my mind works. It looks just like flare, and that's how, when I pick flare, that's one of the things in my flare box. So, you know, you make it what you want. So it's my stash. I can call it whatever I like. So I'm just gluing down these mulberry backed roses, and so there's 3 there for that cluster, and then 2 leaf sprigs. And I'll eventually add one to the bottom of that photo as well. Just getting my frame situated, kind of trying to think of what I want to do, and to hold that in place for the time being, I'm going to use some washi tape. I have washi tape already on the back of the photo because I always cover up staples, and you can see there I've already added the gold staples to that bit of ephemera that's having the 19, and I'm really liking that. I seriously love how romantic this feels. Behind the doily, you see there I have just a scrap of a scalloped frame that I had sitting around that I wanted to use. It's not the same blue as the blue in the frame, but it's like a tealy blue, and I wanted to use it. So I'm going to add some glue to these thickers, these alphas, just because they're old and they're not going to stick otherwise long term. So I'll just add some glue to those. They're wood grain chipboard. And so essentially my title is going to be Hello Happy. And, you know, have the 19 on there. I do have, actually I don't anywhere have anniversary on here, but I know it's my anniversary. So I have 19 there, and eventually I will gold emboss and stamp the word, or hashtag the best is yet to come. So I'm going to glue the sweet tab on there and just start gluing these elements together. Eventually I'm going to put, oh, there's some like hot pink. I just want to pull out some of the pink in the frames. Eventually I'm going to put some dimensional alpha adhesive onto the back of that photo just to raise it up. It's got to be raised up a bit to kind of be at the same dimension as the chipboard frames. So, and yeah, I'm really liking this. It's so soft and it's so feminine and just nice. And it doesn't even bother me, you know. At first it was bothering me, but my husband was wearing just a regular old graphic tee, but it doesn't even bother me anymore because the feel of this page is so, it's just so nice. I just love it. So I'm just going to start gluing things down here. Before I forget, I would love for you to support me and subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. I post pretty regularly, so I would love for you to come. Also, follow me over on Facebook and Instagram. I'll put the links to those sites in my description box. And yeah, I would love for you to come follow me, see what I'm up to over there. And yeah, so I'm going to glue down. I told you I was going to dimensionalize that picture. Glued that down. And just making sure things are kind of lined up. I'm going to add some blocks here to weight it down. And right here, you see I do have that Love piece of Amy Tan flare down there. Eventually coming up here, I'm going to show you, oh, before I forget, this is Cool Tack Clear Foam, and I'm going to use it to bring some dimension to these roses, and it's just because that's like a vellum mulberry paper and I didn't want dimensional adhesive to be popping through that. I'm showing you this stamp set from the Stamps of Life, and that is called hashtag 2, and I just gold embossed it on a Project Life card. That's from Allie Edwards. I'm going to cut it out and kind of deciding what one of the dilemmas I have at the moment is that when I was taking that piece of flare off of the sheet, some of the paint chipped off the top, and so I'm going to need to cover that up. So I'm going to do a close-up here so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Eventually I'll pull some Tim Holtz Chit Chat stickers out, and I will glue that on there to cover up the paint chip, because I wasn't not going to use it because of that, and I thought about tying a bow, but so here's the close-up. Kind of put it on slow-mo just so you can see that's just the metal coming through, the paint chipped off. It's hot pink, of course, so it would be super noticeable. So the sticker that I found in my Chit Chat was Always and Forever, and I thought it was perfect right on the top of that. So I'm going to glue that down. I also have from Spellbinders some brads. At the end you'll see one is a heart and one is a hot pink brad. Just adding those on there. Let's see, I also typed up my journaling. Used that same Project Life card, just used what was left. And I basically have everything down, and that's about it. So like I said, if you've made it to the end and you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. I would love more subscribers and the support. And yeah, thank you guys so much. I'll have my other sites linked in the description box. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section and I'll do my best to answer them. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will be back soon. Stay safe and be well. Bye.